as Father Matt Murdock faces down his toughest demonic possession to date. His entire future as a hero and a holy man may very well be hanging in the balance already. What'll happen next? Well, let's hop to the pages of Daredevil issue number 12 and find out together, shall we? So then, as we join the book, our hero Daredevil is currently having his skull crushed by Wilson Fisk the Kingpin. In his internal monologue, Matt admits that this isn't an all too unusual situation for him to find himself in. After all, Kingpin is his longest tenured and most bitter of villains. Unfortunately, though, this time is different. This time, Wilson has been supercharged by the demonic embodiment of greed, and it's giving him one hell of an edge in the fight. Worse still, as the Kingpin is quick to bring up, this isn't any spirit of greed that is currently possessing him and forcing his actions. Oh no, this is Matt Murdock's own personal sense of greed, a demon that followed him back from hell once he cheated his death, and a demon that vows to succeed in finally crushing Matt Murdock once and for all, where all the other sins had actively failed. Thankfully, though, Daredevil doesn't have to go through this battle alone. He still has Elektra on his side, helping run interference, though the power of greed is able to actively sap people's strengths, including Elektra. She may have managed to buy Matt some time, but it's only a few minutes, and outside in the rest of the world, things aren't exactly going much better. Jason, the kid who had learned about Father Matt's double life as a vigilante, had been kidnapped by Bullseye to use as leverage, only to escape because Bullseye came under attack by some sort of equally strange, equally horrifying demonic force that's now chasing the poor kid. Lil Jason thinks he's saved when he runs into a cop, but once this guy finds out that this kid is one of the orphans under the care of Father Matt and St. Nick's, he just tells him to run along. Wow, what a massive dereliction of duty. If this kid didn't have a huge distrust of authority before, he certainly is going to now moving forward. He even straight up calls him a pig too. Obviously, Father Javi and the other orphans are overjoyed to see Jason return because they pretty much thought that they would never see him again, though that happiness quickly turns to terror once they realize whatever was chasing Jason, whatever Matt Murdock almost certainly unleashed on their lives, has followed him home. And hey, speaking of Daredevil, how are things going back at the fight with Kingpin? Admittedly not great. Matt tried to do another exorcism routine like the one that helped him in the past, but for some reason this demon seems so much more powerful than the others. Again, he's the embodiment of greed, and he says that once again Matt is stealing the words of a holy man while living the life of a violent vigilante. Matt ends up getting his bell rung so hard he starts hallucinating his father. Is he a ghost? Is he an angel? Is he a memory? It's hard to tell, but whatever he is, Ghost Dad actually comes packing some words of encouragement. You've been a good priest, son. I know, because people, they look up to you. They count on you, so get your ass up off the mat. Also, wait, did he name his son Matt because he spent so much time on the boxing mat? This pep talk proves to be exactly what Daredevil needs to reevaluate his situation. All the other exorcisms he performed on all the other possessed friends and family members were different. As Father Matt puts it, conducting a successful exorcism is half remembering the words from sermon and half defusing a bomb. Matt's big problem here is that he's been going for a one-size-fits-all approach in trying to defeat greed-powered Kingpin, when in reality what he should have been doing is looking inward. This is his own personal spirit of greed, after all, his own inner demon that needs vanquishing, and the only way that he can vanquish this demon is to A, admit he has a problem. In this case, trying way too hard to have his cake and eat it too, as a superhero, as a priest, as a lover, and a fighter, and instead refocus his life and commit himself to one noble path. This actually ends up working, but the entire ordeal leaves poor Matt completely drained. In fact, if Kingpin wanted, after getting the greed devil out of him, he very easily could have reached right over and killed his most hated foe, Daredevil, once and for all. Only here's the thing, Wilson Fisk does not. He raises his hand, but he does not raise it in anger for once. In fact, his final words are, "Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned." Which, man, in the grand pantheon of things I never thought I would hear Wilson Fisk the Kingpin say to Daredevil, that's certainly high up there. And so there you have it, everyone, Daredevil issue number 12, and if you couldn't tell, I thought this was another really strong issue and a great finale to what might end up going down as probably one of Saladin Ahmed's strongest Daredevil story arcs. When it comes to writing a whole story around the sin of greed, I didn't know what kind of material they would actually end up wringing out, and yet here I think they end up wringing some of the strongest stuff, because deep down Matt Murdock is a little greedy. In fact, the whole concept behind being a hero is a little bit greedy, trying to have it all, and thinking that no one will get hurt because of the double life you try and live. Hell, this issue basically throws down the gauntlet and says the rest of the series might very well be very different, as Matt will be forced to make a choice. What life does he want to live, hero or holy man? I mean, I don't expect that choice to last forever, because hey, after all, this is fiction and this is comic books and this is sequential storytelling, and the status quo is always returned to one way or another. But as far as a character piece goes, this whole 7 Sins of Matt Murdock thing has actually ended up turning into one hell of a fascinating character study. Something that is uniquely suited to Daredevil, and not just because he is a man of faith, not because his stories deal a lot with, you know, Catholic beliefs, but also because, as we've seen time and time again, Marvel Publishing is a lot less precious with Daredevil than they are, say, Captain America or Spider-Man. Matt is actually allowed to fail much more often. He's allowed to have human fallibilities. And writers have proven time and time again, when you focus on that stuff, you end up actually telling some of the best stories. Overall, I would give this one a very strong 8.5 out of 10. I'll fully admit, when this book started, I didn't think anything could fill the void left behind by Chip Zdarsky, but I gotta give Saladin Ahmed all the credit in the world for making me a believer.
Hey there everyone, it's your pal Cape Joel again, and if you're seeing my face right now, that means you watched to the end of the video, and I'll always be grateful for that. Retention helps in this crazy YouTube game, and so does becoming a patron. If you head on down to the description, you can find a link to my Patreon page. Recently just redid all the tiers, a lot of cool stuff offering up there, exclusive commentaries, exclusive polls, behind the scenes concept art for Capes and Quest. That's the brand new D&D show I've started soon. Never been a better time to become a patron. You can become a patron for as little as $1 a month and help the channel grow, and, you know, help me continue to deliver content like what you just saw. So I want to thank you all, and I will see you again next time. Bye-bye.